Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for Taroscopes again. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Sagittarius. There it is, Sagittarius, for the month of March 2025. This is for Sag Sun, Sag Moon, or Sag Rising. I'm going to be doing look at the astrology, then we'll do a tarot reading and pull an oracle card. But before we get to that, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you for joining. You have joined a wonderful group of like-minded souls. And for my tried and true who have been with me for years, thank you so much for walking this path with me. It has meant the world to me, and um, I hope you know how much I appreciate you. And for my new members who have decided to be a member of this channel, thank you for your support. It is a little slow start with that, but I am putting stuff out. By the time this comes out, there will be some new things for members only. And I'm really excited about developing that with you guys, with your input as well. So uh, let us go to the business at hand. Before we get into the astrology and the cards, I do want to point out the energies of this moment in time. We are in the third month of the year. That means this is the card for the three, right? The Empress. The Empress is sits on that green path right there between Hokmah and Hesed. Hokmah and Bina. Hokmah is the divine masculine, Bina is the divine feminine. This is the path that links the fertility, the fertilization, right? It is this path. We can see that the Empress is pregnant with possibilities. This is abundance. We have Venus on her shield. It's especially significant because at the beginning of the month, Venus stations retrograde. She's going to station retrograde this month. She's going to conjoin the sun. That's starting a new star point. And she's going to actually retrograde back into Pisces, where she's exalted before she turns around next month and then starts moving forward. Venus has the rarest of retrograde cycles. And so things like relationship and money become an issue. Now, we also have the universal year vibration of 9. This is the Hermit card. This is the card of the year. So you're going to be seeing this every month. This card come up over and over again. And it's about sharing your wisdom. It's also about sharing your knowledge, seeking out knowledge. 9 is about healing. It's about forgiveness. It's about wisdom. And there's a lot of darkness in the world, and so we need to shine our light as bright as we can to attract those who need the information and the knowledge that we have to help them navigate this time. Now, if we add these two vibrations together, we get the third vibration, which is the vibration of March, which is the Hanged Man. This is about being caught up. Like you can't really do much when you're in a Hanged Man moment, right? All you can do is see things from a different perspective. That is going to be the saving grace for all of us. We have the halo around his head indicating that we need to stay connected to cosmic consciousness. Very, very important energy. Know what you can affect and affect it, and know what you can and let it go is pretty much the mantra for March. All right, let's go into the astrology. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. Sag. Sag, as you know, is mutable fire. Your mantra is I understand. And your ruler is Jupiter. Jupiter is direct. Again, it went direct last month. And it's direct in your 7th house of relationship. Um, it is in Gemini. Lots and lots of information through your partnerships, through your back and forth with people. Okay, you're going to be getting a lot of information. Libra, which is the sign that naturally rules the 7th house, is the psychology of listening. With Jupiter in the seventh house for you, you will get more information listening than you proselytizing or saying stuff. So I would say listen at least twice as much as you say, um, especially while Jupiter is in that house. Once it moves into the next house, it moves into Cancer later in the year, that the energy shifts. Um, Mars is now moving direct, but still in Cancer all month, doesn't move into Leo until I believe the end of April. And so it's going over areas of the chart. Um, so like the things that it goes over now are the things that were happening towards the end of February. You're going back over it. Mars in Cancer can be very emotional and sensitive, so it's very highly sensitive, and you could feel, Cancer is very self-protective energy, and it's in your eighth house, so you can feel especially self-protective about the resources you share with others. The sun, of course, starts the month in Pisces, moving into Aries on the equinox. Saturn remains in Pisces, moving forward all month in that fourth house. This is, Mars moving through the fourth house can be challenging um, because Saturn. Did I say? I don't know if I said Saturn. Saturn, which is what I'm talking about, tests everything, right? Tests everything. So it could be testing your pipes, could be testing the foundation of your home, could be testing the foundation of your family, right? All of that's going on. Saturn has been in Pisces for about 2 years and has about another a little less, I think, than 6 months left to be in Pisces. It's in Pisces all month. It actually does move into Aries for a short time this year and then moves back into Pisces and then finishes up by the beginning of next year. So we still have some work to do in Pisces, but we are going to get a little flavor of that fifth house fun, perhaps, but just a small taste, and not this month. Sorry. There's Venus. Here's Venus. This is Venus starts the month, goes retrograde immediately, and then retrogrades back into Pisces. Mercury actually starts the month in Pisces, quickly moves into Aries, and then after a little while in Aries, it reaches, let's see, where's Mercury retrograde? It reaches 10 degrees of Aries, it stations retrograde, and then goes back, and then eventually moves back into Pisces. In fact, Mercury in Pisces, right? We have Venus stationing retrograde, first thing that happens. Next thing, Mercury moving forward conjoins Neptune at 30 of Pisces. In the middle of the month, we have Mercury turning around, going retrograde, and then by the end of the month, we have Neptune conjunct Mercury again at 30 degrees of Pisces. And right after that happens, Neptune moves into Aries. So there's a message here with Mercury and Neptune. And Neptune is spirit, and Mercury is our ability to listen to spirit. So lots of messages throughout the whole month, but being sort of um, bookmarked by these aspects. The sun does make a conjunction to Saturn this month. That happens once a year. Sun and Saturn delineates the expanse of our three-dimensional reality, right? The sun is the center, and Saturn is the last planet we can see with our naked eye. So, and it sort of rules the laws of physics, right? So that's the physical world, and that's the world of time. So when we have the conjunction, there's a certain amount of time we get to work that energy, and that's going to be at 23 degrees of Pisces. And then the next day we have the full moon lunar eclipse. The sun is going to be conjoined Saturn. The moon is going to be over here in Virgo. This is your 10th and 4th house cusp. This could be very transformational for your career with the full moon bright here in the 10th house. It is the axis of healing. Um, the signs that the full moon and the sun are in is the axis of healing. And in your chart, it's the axis of security. So perhaps you actually heal a security issue that you've had for a long time. sometimes it's just an issue of deservability and realizing that you do deserve the abundance that you have. So keep that in mind. Um, After the full moon, we have Mercury stationing retrograde at 10 of Aries. Um, the sun, which is moving through Pisces, now gets close to the end of Pisces as it conjoins Neptune. And then the next day on the 20th of, might even be the same day, but I think it's the next day. On the 20th of March, we have the sun ingress into Aries, which for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere is the first day of uh, spring. And for you in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the first day of fall. So it's the time of the equinox when night and day are equal. So there's a need to stay in balance through this period. The sun makes a conjunction right after the sun moves into Aries. A few days later, it makes a conjunction to that retrograde Venus. This is the start of the Venus star point cycle, Venus star point in Aries, going from the evening star to the morning star. And in her Aries garb, she's particularly Aryan in nature, so she's willing to fight for what's right. She's willing to fight for what she loves and what she values. Um, and so women, you haven't heard the last of the women, we'll say. The sun then goes on a few days later to conjunct retrograde Mercury at 5 degrees of Aries. Again, whenever a retrograde planet conjoins with the sun, it's generally the height of that retrograde cycle. Well, especially the inner planets, especially. Not so much. It's a little different with Mars, but this is the time because when Mars is retrograde, it's always opposite the sun. So it can't be conjunct. But whenever we have these retrogrades, it's about looking on the inside for the answers. Then we have Venus go back into Pisces, conjoin Neptune at 30 degrees of Pisces. Then we have the new moon solar eclipse in 9 degrees of Aries. Now, Aries is your fifth house of creative self-expression. If there's another book in there, this would be the time to start that project. It is also the house of fun and family and children, so there could be something new around your children. Or you could just, plan a vacation because you deserve it. And then we have Neptune ingressing into Aries. That doesn't happen very often. Neptune has 165 year orbit around the sun. And so it hasn't really been in this sign. About 151 years ago, it went into this sign. So this is the first time in 151 years that Neptune will stick its toe in to Aries. And a lot of things have changed in 150 years. So we'll have to see how this one manifests. But it is the planet of the consciousness of all things in the sign now of the emerging new consciousness. So this is definitely part of the new consciousness that's coming onto the planet and that we are experiencing. Pluto in your third house there for 19 years. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. Uranus still in your sixth house of health, going to be there all month. Again, you have to be especially sensitive about your health issues because things can come on suddenly and you need to take care of them. All right, I think that's everything I want to say about March. A lot of the energy is in this part of the chart. This part of the chart deals with usually your relationships to the people closest to you, the people that are in your family, your children, and your, everyday work folk. That's where most of the energy is this month for you, Sag. So it's more of an internal month, but you're still going to be seen in the outer world. And I think that um, maybe there's a big kudos to you kind of energy coming this month for you. And again, well deserved, well deserved. All right, so let's stop the share and we will use the Wild Unknown deck, the Wild Unknown, another deck that I use a lot for Sag. I do have like my favorites for different signs, and Sag is kind of a wild child sign, so I like to give you the wild child cards, as it were. All right, what does Sagittarius need to be aware of in the month of March? What does Sagittarius need to be aware of in the month of March? In the merry, merry month of March. Here where I live, March is mud season. And how merry it is. But it's also when spring starts to like you can feel it in your bones. Love that. Okay. So we start the month with you in a little bit of a place of retreat. Perhaps you're healing from something, healing from the stress, or separating yourself so that the stress of the outer world isn't getting the best of you. But you can see this little guy has his third eye wide open. So even though he may not be that available to other people, he's still psychically open and available. What's crossing it? There's something that's not right. There's something that's not quite on the up and up. There's something not quite on the up and up. Let's look at underneath it all. You've been betrayed. I'm sorry to say, you've been betrayed. Somebody has broken your heart. Somebody has caused you pain. But it's almost the three of swords is almost like an inevitable something has to break the tie kind of feeling with that, and it can be very painful, so I'm sorry for that, and maybe that's why you're resting. uh the rug got pulled out from under you. You don't know how you're feeling about it. You're just perhaps not in the best of spaces. What's in the past? Yep. Yeah, this is nightmares, some sort of nightmare. This could also be, honestly, this may not be your personal experience. This could be what you're experiencing by watching the outer world. You are somebody who cares about what happens to people. Sagittarius is about the big picture. Sagittarius listens to things like politics and law and things that matter and philosophy and education. All those things are so very important to Sagittarius. And at this time, anyway, a lot of those things in my country, anyway, are under attack. So it could very well be that you're just that the betrayal is not so much person actually betraying you, but this feeling that you've been let down, uh, even though you've been a proponent for something. Let's see what's in the sky. Yeah, the road is long. It's quite a climb, quite a climb, but this is about standing up for what you believe in, all the same. So this is in the sky. This is usually how I read this, as like messages from spirit. Don't give up. Hold your ground. Hold your ground. That's what this is saying. In the immediate future, okay, we have a rebirth. We have a balancing back of the scales. Things are going to come back to center. Finances are going to level off a bit. There's the energy of new beginnings here, new birth. How it's seen from the outside, you're seen as a wise counselor who pretty much has control over their own emotions. Your domestic situation, we have the Daughter of Wands. This is the Page of Wands. This is messages from Spirit. So you're going to get a lot of messages. You're going to be home getting a lot of messages. Um, so there's a message coming for you. Let's see, hopes and fears. Um, You want your wishes to come true. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? An outcome? Ooh, looks like you're going to be doing some sort of I feel like you're going to be coming together with another person and doing something, whether it's a project or what do you call those things? A podcast or something like that, where you're going to get together with another person and it's going to create some buzz, as it were. You're going to come back to I feel like you've been sort of isolating, self-isolating, and by the end of the month I feel like you come out of that. A lot of burdens. pick 3 cards, see if I can get a major arcana. But not losing hope. So despite the burdens, despite the picture, despite the things that you're seeing out there, hope springs eternal. Don't lose hope. Don't lose heart. Underneath it all is the Ace of Cups, which is happiness, the Four of Pentacles, which is financial stability, and the Mother of Swords, which is somebody with amazing ability to discern. This is a woman with great discernment and who's very fair and balanced. So underneath it all, you are loving, stable, and fair. Um, this, I think, is a temporary problem right now with all these swords. It's really it's been very mentally uh, it's been very mentally challenging to the point of almost harm. And so it's important that you take the rest that you need. Um, stand your ground because there's new energy coming in, and there's the energy of partnership here. I don't think you don't have to do it alone the way you've done it before, I don't think. Or maybe it's just a new kind of partnership. But yeah, the star there, the star of hope. Very good, very good. All right, one last thing. Sag, I've been doing the Oracle card, and this month I'm using the um, Spirit Animal Oracle by uh, Colette Baron Reed. Great, great cards, great messages, and beautiful, beautiful pictures. So, all right, what does Sagittarius need to be aware of? What does Sagittarius need to be aware of? Show me Sag. Sag for March, Sag for March. We have the Sandpiper spirit. Be playful. Oh, I like that. So you're going to have to get out of your hidey hole and be playful. All right, let's see what it says. Sandpiper. I don't know if you've ever seen those guys. I think this is the ones I see on the shore. They like when the tide goes out, they like run and they poke, and then the tide comes in and they will run and then they run and anyway, Sandpiper. Okay. Sandpipers are like cute little clowns, poking their beaks into the sand before darting off to chase the waves. The appearance of sandpiper spirit is a sign that now it is the time to engage your playfulness. Whatever tasks you have before you, perform them with lightness of being. Explore the familiar, discovering the new in the old. Who knows what treasures await you when you let yourself laugh and have fun? Here's the protective message for Sandpiper when your heart is heavy and life seems to weigh you down. Sandpiper Spirit's message is to lighten your burden by finding joy and humor in the everyday. Become like a playful child filled with curiosity and wonders, and soon you will find that you feel your own spirit lift. A few minutes or hours of fun-filled delight is exactly what you need now. Enjoy the ridiculousness of life and be willing to jump in. Let your inner goofball out to express itself with abandon. Okay, do the goofy thing, I guess. All right, guys, that's the message. I hope you have a wonderful month. Please be careful out there. It is very challenging. We're in challenging times. Keep your eyes open, keep your heart open, keep your third eye open, and you should be fine. All right, guys, take care. Namaste. See you next month.